All right, what's up, guys? VV back with another video. And in today's video, it is time to check out some purple black Luffy action. That's right. I know a lot of people have been waiting for this leader to be good, to be really, viable and competitive. And now that the new starter deck support has come out for it, I think it's time for purple black Luffy to start, to shine a little bit. We'll see what we can come across or see what we can figure out in today's video. Okay, so let's do this, guys. Let's get right into it. I'm going to break down the video for you first. We're going to check out the deck list. Then we're going to head over to the sim, do 5 games on the sim, and then we're going to finish up by, kind of recapping, and I'm going to tell you guys what I think about the leader moving forward. Okay, so you know what you're getting into. I'll have everything time-stamped in the general description, and I'll have all relevant deck lists and links and stuff like that in the comment section below. If you guys have any comments, questions, or suggestions, please do not hesitate to put those down in the comment section below, or hop on the VV Theory Discord. Link will be in the channel description. Today's video is brought to you by Nin Garden, and their summer kickoff sale is live. They're offering 10 to 40% off site-wide across the entire store. For a limited time, get a free playmat tube with every Sun God playmat purchase while supplies last. Also, don't forget to use my code, the VV Theory, at the checkout for an extra 10% off. All right, let's go ahead and break down the deck list for today's video, guys. Starting off with the leader, we've got a 5,000 power, 4-life, purple-black Monkey D. Luffy leader with Dawn ×1. Your characters have +1 cost, and then your turn once per turn. When 2 or more Dawn cards are returned to your Dawn deck from play, set up to 1 from your Dawn deck as active, and set up to 1 from your Dawn deck as rested. Okay, so now we're going to go through the entire deck list, and then we're going to kind of break it down and talk about it. If you're a newer player, be sure to pause and read these cards if you need to know what they do. I'm going to mouse over each one as we go over them. So we're running 4 Trafalgar Law, 2 Black Maria, 4 Zoro, 4 Usohachi, 4 Nico Robin, 4 Frankie, 4 Zoro Juro, 4 Sanji and Pudding, 2 of the 6-cost Secret EB02 Luffy. We'll talk more about this in a minute. 2 of the 6-cost 2K Counter Sanji, 3 of the 6-cost ST26 Luffy, 3 Sanji, 2 Luffy Taro, 2 of the 9-cost Secret Luffy, 4 Gum Gum Giants, and 2 Gum Gum Lightning. Okay, so just to kind of break some stuff down real quick, and I want to just address the super expensive card here real quick. If you cannot afford this card, no worries. Just go -2 of this card, and then you can adjust the ratios on any of the cards in this list. Like maybe go up a 9-cost Secret Luffy, maybe go up a 7-cost Luffy Taro, or even, you could even just trade out one of these Luffys for an extra one of the 6-cost ST26 Luffys, and then maybe one for a Sanji, so you have another rush card in the deck. Okay, so there are plenty of options there to mess around with. Okay, so that's the easy way to replace this 6-cost Secret Luffy if you just can't afford it, which is understandable. At the time of recording this video, guys, the card's pretty expensive. What else? Excuse me. Now, there are some other cards I will say, too. Like, say you just can't afford this Sanji and Pudding, or it's just hard to get the availability for this card wherever you might live. Another card to replace it with would be this 5-cost Sangoro. I'm not saying it's the same thing. I'm not saying it's as good, but it's at least a decent replacement, right? It's a 5-cost card for a 5-cost card. They're both Straw Hat searchable. This one has a 1K counter and has the ability to attack and draw cards if you have 8 or more Dawn every turn that you do that, right? But Sanji and Pudding is good for other reasons, especially if you're below your opponent's Dawn threshold. If you're at equal to or less Dawn than your opponent, on play, you're drawing a card, and then your turn once per turn, whenever you return 2 or more Dawn cards, you can get a Dawn card set back as active. And that's a big theme that we're going to be doing this deck we're about to talk about in a minute. So if you can't afford this card, if you can get it, I think it is very important for the list. But this card, I think this card is also very important for the list, but I understand for the people who cannot afford this card, this is way outside of the range of most players playing this game. So if you can't afford this card, no problem. I would just replace it with probably, one of these ST26 Luffys and one of these Sanjis. Excuse me. Now, there is one other thing we have to talk about real quick. I've been seeing this going around with the purple-black Luffy decks, is cards like Eustace Captain Kidd, and cards like Charlotte Pudding, this 3-cost Charlotte Pudding. I think this first popped up somewhere in the Oviedo, Florida regional. My apologies, guys. I don't have all the information on that. But from what I've seen and from what I've seen people talking about is this Charlotte Pudding card is like a new tech card that people are starting to run for purple-black Luffy. Okay, so be sure to consider that as well when you're making your deck list. Okay. Now, let's talk about what the deck is trying to do real quick. I'm going to get the leader back on the screen here. So whenever you return 2 Dawn cards, right, from one effect, not like return 1 and then return another one, that won't count. You have to return 2 or more at one time in order to trigger this effect. And what we're trying to do is abuse this as much as we can. And when this leader first came out, it came out with some pretty decent options, like this 3-cost Zoro, this Frankie, and I think also there was this Sanji. And even, did this come out? Yeah, even this 9-cost Secret Luffy, they all came out in OP09. Okay, so there were some decent options early on for this leader, but it was lacking a little bit of stuff. It was lacking a little bit of consistency. And let me explain that. While this card Zoro here is incredible, you want this in your opening hand. This is definitely something to mulligan for. You want to get this card in your opening hand, and you typically want to go first, because here's what ends up happening. Now again, pause and read these cards if you don't know what they do, okay? But this card, what you want to do is go first and play it down on turn 3, or on turn 2 on your 3 Dawn turn. You're going to play it down, you're going to choose to return 2 Dawn cards, and then that's going to allow you to return a Dawn card as active with Zoro's effect, and then 2 more with your leader's effect. So you'll have 2 active Dawn cards, and you will have ramped a Dawn for the turn. So in other words, you're at 3 Dawn, right? And then you return 2 Dawn to go back down to 1, and then Zoro gives you 1 Dawn back, and then the Luffy gives you 1 back active and 1 back is rested. So you'll have 2 active Dawn left for the turn to work with. So you can swing for 7 with your leader, or maybe swing for 6 and play out a Searcher, whatever you end up having to do. Okay? And that's very important. And at first, that was kind of all we had for Purple Black Luffy. People did discover that Black Maria has a similar effect in the deck where you can play this out, right, on your second turn, on your 3 Dawn turn, use the effect, and then at the end of your turn, when all the Dawn gets returned back to your opponent's Dawn count, which should be 2 because they're on their turn, they should be on their first turn, going second. So they'll have 2 Dawn. You play out Black Maria for 3, you ramp all the way up to 8 Dawn, but then it brings you all the way back down to 2, and then you get 2 Dawn back from your leader's effect for returning your Dawn. Very, very complicated, very technical, but it was at least something to help us with our consistency when we didn't see Zoro in our early opening hands, right? Now we have Nico Robin, okay? I think this one is just strictly better than Black Maria. Black Maria has her uses in other ways, of course, but I actually just like Nico Robin better because it's a Straw Hat searchable card. It's a 4,000 power character. I can attach a Dawn and start swinging with it when I need to. But again, it's Straw Hat searchable. And it's still a 2K counter like Black Maria, but notice I'm still running 2 Black Marias as well. It is also a 2K counter, and it has the ability to help out our leader effect early on. So I'm basically running 10 different cards here that I can get by turn 2 to help me start ramping with my leader's effect, and that's the main thing we're going for. And that was some consistency that was missing early on with the deck. After that, it was like, okay, well, now what do we do, right? What are we trying to ramp to? So in this situation here, okay, so I play out this Zoro, like we were just saying, and we ramp up to 4 Dawn. Next turn will be on 6 Dawn. What can we do with it? And in the past, there was an option. We did have like a decent option. It was one of the only black cards we were running for this, this type of, for this leader. And it was this Sanji from ST14. Because on a 6 Dawn turn, I can attach a Dawn to my leader, and now all of my characters get +1 cost. So when I play out this Sanji, he will count himself as being a 6-cost character, even though he only costs 5 from hand. It'll count like we have a 6-cost or greater character on the field, and then we can KO an opponent's cost 5 or lower character. Okay, like that was decent, right? That wasn't bad, but now we have a much better option in the form of Monkey D. Luffy, the 6-cost from Starter Deck 26. Now we can actually throw this card out, and even though if we're playing in a normal game against someone who does not have Dawn tricks where they can't ramp Dawn or anything, even though, notice what this one says. If your leader is multicolored and your opponent has 5 or more Dawn cards on their field, your Straw Hat Crew type leader's base power becomes 7,000 until the end of your opponent's next end phase. Okay, well here's the thing. If we ramped the way we did, our opponent would only be on 4 Dawn, so we can't even use the effect, right? Well, right and wrong. We can actually still activate the effect to do Dawn -2 on play, and we'll get that 2 Dawn back with our leader. But here's the thing. Our opponent's only at 4 Dawn, right? In the example I was just giving. No problem. We just don't get the +2,000 power buff to our leader, but we still got the Dawn back as active. So this is still a great card to cheat out right on play, even if we don't have a 7,000 power leader from the effect on the first go around. Still very, very strong, right? Okay, so then we would still be on 6 Dawn in that situation, right? Because we went from 4 to 6. We got the Dawn back and everything. And now we go into an 8 Dawn turn. Okay, no problem. Now we can start slamming down cards like Sanji or Luffy Taro and ramping out or filling out the board and going from there, and then finally getting to our 9-cost card. Okay, so that's kind of the flow of the deck right now. And now that we do have access to this Luffy and the 6-cost Secret Luffy, for those who can afford it, we have so many more options at, you know, using our leader effect more consistently, right? We no longer have to depend on an on-play effect to activate our leader effect. Now we have when attacking effects as well that allow us to trigger our leader's effect. So these cards were much needed, in my opinion, for the deck. We're also running this Gum Gum Lightning as a 2 of. Dawn -2, so we'll get the Dawn right back. It'll basically only cost us 1 Dawn to use this effect, where we can KO up to one of our opponent's power 6,000 or lower characters, and then trigger, we can ramp a Dawn as active. Okay? And that's pretty much it, guys. That's pretty much the entire deck in a nutshell. This is just my version of the list, okay? I'm sure there's better tournament versions out there, and this is really meant to be just my first impressions on this new leader, my first take on this new leader, trying out a very straightforward Straw Hat list. So there's plenty of room for revisions. Like I said, we know there's a tech card that a lot of people are running in the form of 3-cost Pudding. Let me bring that back up on the screen here. This card here, a lot of people are running now in Purple Black Luffy. We have tech options like that. And of course, you know, there's plenty of room for improvement in this list, especially this one you're seeing on the screen here. This is just my first take on it, okay? All right, now, let's see this deck in action, guys. We got some games on the sim to check out, so let's see what it can do. All right, first game up we have against Green Yellow Trafalgar Law. The volume is off, speed is on 2x, and here we go. I have to say, guys, that, whoops, I forgot it. It got stuck there. There it goes. Excuse me. So I have to say this first list we're going to be looking at today is a little bit different. Just for the first game here, I'm going to be trying out the new Soba Mask card, the 7-cost card from the starter deck. That was something I wanted to mess around with at first. Okay, so just understand, just the first game is going to be a little bit different. Hang on, pause. Let me get us caught up here. The first game is going to be a little bit off because notice I have the 8-cost Katakuri. I have Soba Mask. This is just more of a bonus game here. I was trying out some of the new cards. Now, let me get us caught up. We went first. We had no Searcher turn 1. It happens. Not a big deal. Trafalgar Law going second. They go turn 1 Kid and Killer to fix their hand a little bit with that new starter deck Searcher. And now it's our turn 2. We're going to play out Zoro. We're going to return 2 Dawn cards and get 1 back with Zoro and 2 back with our leader, right? To go back to, we went from 3 Dawn down to 1 up to 4. Okay, here we go. And now we're going to be able to swing for 7 because we have nothing in our hand to play out. We're just going to smash in for 7. They'll probably take this. If they counted out this early, it would not be a good thing for them. I think that would be too like, it would hurt their hand too much. Okay, so they're on 4 Dawn now. We do have this Zoro on the board to pester them. You know, it's going to start poking cards out of their hand or poking cards off the board. And they're, you know, okay, so they're going to play out Monkey D. Luffy here. They're going to fix their hands even more. Guys, this is another leader. I cannot wait. I got to revisit. I have so many leaders I want to revisit now with all these new cards, guys. Please bear with me. Trust me, I want to play them just as much as you guys want to see them. Okay? So they're going to play out another. They play out 2 Luffys for the turn. They're fixing their hand. They're going to swing in for 5. They're going to play out a beige, so that way I can't really beat up their board. But guys, I've got news for you. I'm not going for their board right now, right? Face is the place right now, guys. Face is the place. We're on a 6 Dawn turn. We're going to play out the Luffy. We're going to return 2 Dawn cards. Now, notice this. Pause. Our leader did not become 7,000 power because our opponent is at 4 or less Dawn. They're not at 5 or more Dawn. They're at 4 or less Dawn. But that's not a big deal. We still want to develop our Monkey D. Luffy here, and we want to get a Dawn back as active with the effect there so we can swing for more. Okay? So that's why we still chose to use the leader, excuse me, to use the character's effect, even though it wasn't going to buff our leader. Okay, next turn we're going to be on 8 Dawn. Now we've got a spicy turn lined up next year. I'm going to give you guys a quick spoiler, a quick hint here. And we do top deck a 7-cost Sanji here, and it makes this next turn incredible. We almost got the perfect dream curve in this deck here. But watch this, guys. Here we go. So they're going to play out Cavendish. They're going to swing 6 into 5. I'm just going to let the card go. I don't care about it like that. I don't even have any counter power in my hand, period. Okay, pause. Who knows what my next play is going to be? I have mentioned this before. I've mentioned this play before. It is kind of like the perfect Soba Mask play. And we're going to be doing it on curve and everything, right? The only thing we didn't have in this game here was like the turn 1 Searcher. If we would have gone turn 1 Searcher into the turn 2 3-cost Zoro like we had into turn 3 Luffy, into this turn 4 play right here, it would have been the absolute perfect pull, the perfect play. So watch what we do here, guys. We have 8 Dawn to work with, okay? And we have the 6-cost Secret Luffy on the board. What are we going to do? Watch this. We are going to play out the Sanji, and do a Dawn -1. Not Dawn -2, because we still want to use the 6-cost Secret Luffy to go to 7,000 power this turn. Dawn -1, tap down one of their characters. We're going to tap down the Cavendish so we have something to attack into, I guess. We're going to go 7 into 6, okay? Now, we're down to 7 Dawn, but watch this. We're going to go attack it. Okay, they 2K counter out. Very nice. Just waiting for them. We are in 2x speed here. Then we're going to go 7 more into it. Dawn -2. Now we're swinging for 7 more into it, and we get 2 Dawn back, 1 rested, 1 active. Okay, perfect. And our leader's 7K. Now we're going to go 7 more into it. Do you want to give me another card, or the blocker probably? Yep, gives me the blocker. And now for 2 Dawn. For 2 Dawn, we just played out a 7-cost 9K and got our Sanji back to our hand so we could use it again next turn if we need to, or use it for counter power this turn. There might be something there. It's a little bit gimmicky, I will say, but I do love that interaction, and I wanted to at least have one game today showing off some potential with that new Soba Mask card. The game's not over yet. The game's not over. They still have 3 life. We have 3 life. Their board's way more menacing than ours. But guys, we're at 7,000 power now. Okay, yep, we'll just give a 1K or a 2K here. Yep, we give a 2K. And let's see what they do next. Oh, excuse me, they swung twice there. I think I took one and countered out of the other. Okay, well, I have a 9,000 power character on the board here. Is it time to just start going for lethal, or is it time to go for the board? We're going to go for the board here. I've got 9 Dawn still. Or, excuse me, I have, I guess I didn't want to play out my bigger characters here. Oh, they locked down my Luffy. They locked down my other Luffy, and I wanted to get to 7,000 power. So we're going to attack in. We have 3 Dawn as active, just in case they have Hody Jones. Just in case they have Hody Jones or Dead Man's Game, I am running, I left 3 Dawn as active so they couldn't just beat me too easily. They're going to go 7 into 7. I don't have a lot of ways to save this card. I think I should still try to save it here, though, because we can. Yeah, we're going to give him a 1K counter. Now he's going to swing, it looks like 8 into 7. Okay, he's going to restand, swing 7 more into it. Uh-oh. That's not good. We're going to let him go this time. He's going to swing for 8 into 7. We 2K. He's going to go 9 into 9. We're going to save this card. We're going to Gum Gum Giant just to save this card. We get into 2 more Gum Gum Giants, and here we go. So we're on 6, 7. We'll be on 9 Dawn this next turn here. I think I top deck a Secret Luffy here soon, guys. The 6 cost. I could be wrong. Guys, are we in 2x speed? What is going on here? We're just waiting for our opponent to pass the turn back. Okay, here we go. All right, what do we do here, guys? This is not the best position to be in, but we don't really have many other options here, right? We're actually kind of up against the ropes, right? We're actually kind of up against the ropes here. Now, they only have 2 life, and we could potentially have 4 attacks here where they have to get out of all of them. Okay, so we're going to return just 1 Dawn with the 9-cost Luffy to draw a card here. Now we're going to swing for 7 with our 7-cost, with our 6-cost Luffy, returning 2 Dawn to activate our leader effect to get a Dawn back as active. We're going to swing for 7. Okay, takes that. Okay, going to swing for 9. Okay, they do get out of it, so now we can go for a character on the board. We'll get rid of their biggest character, and now we have 2 life. We're a 7,000 power leader, and we have a Gum Gum Giant in hand. So unless he top decks something like a Hody Jones, we're actually in a very good shape, you know, a very good position to win this game. Okay, so it looks like they're doing a little bit of math right here. Can they go for my board? The answer is probably not, right? Like, my board is too big. That's a 9K, a 7K, and a 10K on the board, but I'm a 7K leader. So they might as well go for the Luffy here, because there's pretty much no way they can go for lethal on the board, especially with 1 Dawn as active. Like, I'm a 7,000 power leader, so they have to get through 3 attacks. Okay, 3 attacks across 4 bodies. They're going to smash in for 7 there. I'm just going to save this card. They're never getting this card, right? I mean, at least not right now they're not. Because we're going to Gum Gum Giant to save if we have to as well, because our board is just massive. Okay, so now they're really starting to think. I mean, I don't know what they have in their hand, but I don't know how it's going to help them either. In this situation, looks like they're just going to go for 7 more. We're going to Gum Gum Giant just to try to protect this card. We get a 2K and a 1K from that. Yeah, they're not getting this card, right? Okay, unless they swing in for 10, they get it. And it's like now they only have 5 Dawn left. There's just... What do they do now, right? There's just nothing else to do. They do some type of desperation play there to pull back a card. They play out Trafalgar Law, playing out the Law, fixing their hand a little bit. We're going to play out the Sanji there, resting down their blocker. GG. That was a good one there, guys. Oh, there's the Secret Luffy. There's the 6-cost Secret Luffy who's in my life there. Okay, good game to my opponent. I did want... Now, like I said, that was the only game we're going to see with the Soba Mask in. I just wanted to show one game, kind of showing off how that character could work in the deck. And as you guys saw, a 7-cost 9K that you can play for 2 and get your Sanji back in hand to use as counter power later. It really wasn't too bad. Really was not too bad. Okay, so that was the first one. That was against Green Yellow Law. Now we got a game versus Blue Yellow Nami. Okay, volume is off. Speed is on 2x, and here we go. Okay, blue, yellow, Nami. Very interesting matchup, but I do think that some of these purple decks are probably just a little too fast for Nami most of the time. Blue-purple Luffy, I think, is actually not too bad for blue-yellow Nami, believe it or not, because it's one of the slower, purple decks out right now. It just goes really big into the late game, and I think Nami can kind of deal with that for the most part. But against, like, purple-black or green-purple or even just mono-purple, I do think those spread too wide across the board with characters that are too big for Nami to keep up with. Okay, so we got a pretty good start here to the game. We got the Zoro down early. We're just going to start beating in here. We're going to do Dawn -1 with the Zoro effect, so that way we can swing for 6 and 6 here. Try to get counters out of hand, because notice this, guys, they don't have a Dawn on their leader. So I'm swinging for 6, I'm swinging for 6. We're getting as much counters as we can out of their hand, and here we go. They have nothing on the board. They're going to play out a Marshall D Teach here. They're going to play out a Nojiko to bounce back my Zoro. That's fine. We don't really care too much about that. And now let's see what they're going to do here. They put a card into their life, or excuse me, into their deck with the Marshall D Teach effect, so they can swing for 9 into my Zoro. But we're just going to let that card go. We're not too worried about it. Okay, pause. So right here we have 8 Dawn, and I have quite a few plays I can do. My opponent is on 6 Dawn, so I can play out the 6-cost 7K starter deck Luffy if I need to go up to 7,000 power. But I think this turn, I do things a little bit weird here. I think I actually should have done the Luffy Taro into the Sanji and Pudding, but I think instead I do Luffy Taro into the Zoro Juro to do some searching, because I am kind of low in counter power in hand, if you guys did not notice that, right? Okay, here we go. We're going to play out the Luffy Taro. We're going to do Dawn -1. We're going to play out the Zoro, and we're going to fix our hand a little bit. We didn't even get any extra counter power there. Did we have any options? We at least have to look, right? Okay, we could have gotten 2 2K counters there, and we'd end up getting the 9-cost Secret Luffy. That was a very greedy play. Maybe I'm not noticing until afterwards. I only have 3K counter in my hand, guys. I think getting a 2K counter was the safer, better play here, even though I can slam down that Luffy next turn, right? Okay, here we go. I'm going to smash in for 6 here. And they're going to go ahead and just counter out with their leader effect, trashing a card to go plus 2K for the turn. They're going to play out Charlotte Linlin. And here comes another mistake here, guys. Watch this. I get a little bit greedy trying to keep that Sanji and Pudding in my hand when I don't think I'm going to play that for the rest of the game. I think I should have kept the 7-cost Sanji in my hand. Getting rid of the Zoro was fine. The 3-cost Zoro, that was fine. But I think I should have got rid of the Sanji and Pudding in this situation. Okay, so here we go. We're on a 9 Dawn turn, and honestly, guys, I think I should just, like... Okay, it looks like I'm going to slam down the 6-cost here, potentially. I'm not going to lie, though. Okay, and I do that, so now I do get to use my leader effect, but I actually would have rather just played out the 9-cost, like the 9-cost Luffy looking back. There's a lot of different play lines we had there, right? We could have done all kinds of different things there, but I really like the idea of developing the 9-cost 10K there and putting my opponent on a clock, because they're not going to really be able to... They can't get rid of me on the crackback because I have a Gum Gum Giant in hand. It's not going to happen, right? Because I have 2 life. They only have 2 actual attackers next turn, right? If you look at their board, guys, they have a bunch of little tiny characters and then a Nami and a Charlotte Linlin. So I think just getting down a massive character there that they'll never be able to deal with unless they get a Red Rock off the top deck, that's how I think they should have gone about it. They're going to go 12 and 8 here. We're going to Gum Gum Giant and watch this absolute, I was going to say, in that time, yet again, we got rid of the 6-cost secret, or the hang on, pause. Let me see what our options were to get rid of there. Okay, so we play out the Gum Gum Giant, right? So let me hit play. And now the card I choose to get rid of is the 6-cost SR Luffy. I guess that was fine. I was going to say that was another play mistake. I still think I should have gotten rid of the Sanji and Pudding, but at the same time, okay, never mind. I already have a Luffy on the board, so I guess it does make sense. Never mind. Okay, I thought that was like another terrible decision there, but it was probably fine either way. Okay, so here we go. They swing in. We do counter out. We had to give them a 2K to get out of that because we just didn't have enough left. And watch this, guys. They're just going to load up, swing 10 more into it, and I only have a 2K left in my hand. Okay, we have to let that go. But that's okay. Our board is still better than theirs if you think about it. Like those 2 little blockers, those are just little chump blockers we're not really worried about. So right here I'm doing a little bit of math. I'm like, wait a minute. I think I have lethal. I think I have calculated lethal right here. Watch this. We're going to swing for 7. Okay. And now there's pretty much nothing he can do. There's no trigger left. Okay, no problem. I'm going to swing for 7. Now my leader's a 7k. That's going to be a card from hand and the last card from hand as well. Now there's nothing he can do. I have 2 attacks coming in with that 7k Luffy. He has no cards in hand, so that's both blockers and then 7k on my leader. It takes my opponent to take a second to consider, like, or to understand, like, okay, yeah, I guess the game's over. They did not want to give it up for whatever reason. It's like, hey, man, when it's over, it's over. Just move on to the next one. Good game to my opponent. That 6-cost Secret Luffy is really nice. Now, understand this. I don't think we necessarily had to have that card to win this game, but it was coming down to it at the end there, guys. We only had 1 life left, and look at what their top card was. So having that Secret Luffy there was very, very important. Now, I will say in that situation, let's go back and see if we could have won with a... let's see if we could have won with a 7-cost Zoro. I mean, the 7-cost, not Zoro, the 7-cost Sanji. Okay, so let's go back to the beginning of this game here before we played out the Luffy. So if that was a 7-cost Sanji, I keep wanting to call it Luffy or Zoro for some reason. If that was the 7-cost purple Sanji, we have 9 Dawn. So I think we still could have done what I was saying. So it's 1 Dawn on Zoro, right? Swing for 7, and then let's see what happens. Okay, so again, so we play out the, so we swing for 7 first with Zoro. He has no idea what's about to hit him, right? He has no idea. So we swing in for 7, and he takes it. Okay? Now, in this situation here, I still have 4, 8 Dawn left. So I can play out the 7-cost Sanji to rest down one of the blockers, and then swing for 7 with the other, and that's going to get the 2 cards out of hand. Then I have 7 from Luffy, and then I have 7 from my leader, Luffy. Yeah, so I think I still would have been able to get through if I had the 7-cost Rush Sanji. I think we would have been just fine. Good game to my opponent. Let's move on to the next one. Okay, next up we have a game versus Blue Buggy. Okay, volume is off, speed is on 2x, and here we go. Blue Buggy. All right, here we go. A lot of people are talking about this leader over in the West right now. I don't think it really popped up much in the East. But yeah, I hear a lot of rumors and a lot of stuff about Buggy, and I do think the leaders are very solid. I have mentioned it before that he's a very strong leader. I just don't know if he's quite up there in that top S tier yet or anything like that. I think he's like somewhere in the middle of A tier. Okay, so we got a pretty good start here. Everything minus the Searcher. We get out the Zoro here. We're able to ramp up to 4 Dawn. We swing in for 7. They're going to play out an Alvida. They're going to fix their hand, draw 3, trash 2, and then it's going to be our turn. Looks like they didn't use their stage, by the way. They must really like the cards in their hand. Their hand must be perfect. Okay, so we're going to swing for 5 with Zoro. We don't care. They're gonna counter out. Okay, we're going to use the... I'm going to use Gum Gum Lightning early on here just to pop the Alvida, and then I'm going to slam down a Sanji and Pudding and pass the turn back. Sanji and Pudding... so the 3-cost Pudding, the 5-cost Eustace Kid, and the 5-cost Sanji and Pudding are really, really nice cards in Purple Black Luffy. If you can get even just one interaction with them with a Dawn -2 effect, you're ramping Dawn, right? And it's the card they have to deal with on the board now. Okay, they're going to go 6 into 5. I'm actually just going to let it go. I'm going to save my 2k counters for something more important. Okay, they're going to play out the Crocodile and Mihawk, cheating out another Alvida, draw 3, trash 2. What a great card that Buggy got there. Really strong card that they gave Buggy in the new starter deck. Or is that OP12? I can't remember. It's something like that. All right, so here we go. We're going to play out another Sanji and Pudding, playing out a Zoro, going Dawn -2, getting 4 Dawn back from that, because we have 2 Sanji and Puddings and our leader effect. So we're going to swing for 7, we're going to swing for 7, and then we're going to keep 2 Dawn active. We have double Gum Gum Giant. I'm trying to make it where there is no world in which he's ever getting that Sanji and Pudding. I want to keep both of them on the board, because if I do a single Dawn minus effect next turn, I actually get, 4 Dawn back. You know what I mean? With the effects on the board here. So Dawn -2, Dawn +4 is what it would be. So they're going to swing 9 into that. We're going to Gum Gum Giant to get out of it. And we have another Gum Gum Giant. They're going to play out a Buggy here, locking down my Zoro. My Zoro will not be able to attack anymore, unfortunately. Not a big deal, though. He already kind of did his job with that ramp he did last turn. Okay, now we're going to go up to a 10 Dawn, and we can do so many tricks now, guys. But watch this. Play out Sanji. We're going to rest down the Dracula Mihawk, and we're just going to go to town here. We're saying, you know what? I hope you've got about 4 2K. I hope you got about 8 2Ks in your hand, pretty much, right? So we're going to go swing for 7, swing for 7, swing for 7. That's what we're doing right here. Okay, they're giving me all their cards. Seems good. Now we're going to swing for 7 more. Does he have it? Because if not, I'm going in for 10, guys. Or going in for 9. I've still got a Gum Gum Giant. Yeah, good game to my opponent. They ran out of gas at the end there. Now, their hand was pretty stacked. They had both of their buggies coming down next turn, but we just had too much momentum. We had too much speed going into this turn. But hear me out, guys. If they had, how do I say this? If they survived right there on a 10 Dawn, I think they were about to go into their 10 Dawn turn. Let me see. They had 6 Dawn, 2 on that guy. Yes, they were about to go into their first 10 Dawn turn, right? And they were going to be able to play out both of those buggies from hand and bottom deck 2 characters, smash into the rest. They were probably still in trouble. Let me be completely honest. They were probably still in trouble, but still, when those buggies start coming down, I could have been in quite a bit of trouble there myself. I would have just had to protect something. Okay, good game to my opponent. Let's move on to the next one. Okay, now we got a game versus green Jinbe. Okay, volume is off. Speed is on 2x. I think this is OP11, guys. I think everything we're seeing today is OP11 for those who might be wondering. Okay, so Jinbei's going to play out the Shirahoshi here, and they choose not to stand their Shirahoshi. I guess they're trying to get me to attack into that, so that way they have, you know, so they can save life here. I have no idea, but hey, I'm going to run it over if that's the case. Because I think, can't you stand up the Shirahoshi? I could be wrong about that. I don't play much green, and I definitely don't play much Jinbe, but I think they could have stood up the Shirahoshi with their leader's effect. Oh well, that's fine with us. They swing in, we'll take it. We're going to swing for 5 here. Okay, yeah, I think we're going to swing 5, and then play out the Sanji and Pudding and start getting some crazy value afterwards. But notice my hand, guys. Do y'all notice there's something missing from my hand? Yeah, something's missing here, right? Okay, they play out, I play out a Sanji and Pudding. They play out a Jinbe, if I'm not mistaken, or excuse me, a Fisher Tiger. And now they're going to go 5 and a 4. We let it go. And oh, what's this? We don't have a single counter in hand. We just drew the Usohachi for this turn. We did not have even a single counter in our hand, guys. Oh, you hate to see it. We'll have to look at the ratios after this game. It happens, but that was unfortunate. Just letting a card go when I could have just 1K countered out. Oh, you hate to see it. All right, so we smash into the Fisher Tiger. We're trying to get cards out of their hand. They're down to 6 cards after drawing for the turn. We have a pretty good board here. It's nothing special. Okay, we don't care about that Zoro. Now, they make a play mistake here. They should have made it where their leader, or excuse me, their 6-cost Jinbe character attacked into it, because they can't attack in with Jinbe this turn into our leader. They can only attack into characters. But hey, that's fine with us. We'll take it. So we're going to go ahead and play out the Zoro here. Fix our hand a little bit. We still have 6 Dawn to work with for the turn. We're going to swing for 7. Get our Dawn back with our leader effect, so that puts our leader at 7. They use Arlong to rest down our character. We're not too worried about that either. If they want to start going into my board, that's actually fine with us. So we swing in for 8 there. So we have 7 Dawn left. We're going to play out another Zoro, and we're just going to sit on some Gum Gum Giant. Actually, yeah, we're going to use the Gum Gum Giant, or we're going to keep that. We're going to sit on that, and we're going to remove the Fisher Tiger with the Gum Gum Lightning. They play out another Shirahoshi here. Okay. What are they going to do? By board, this is what purple does, guys. Purple starts getting really big on the board, really wide, and it's hard to deal with. 7 into 7, hey, that might have worked with Sanji, but it's not going to work anymore. We fixed our hand a little bit. They get rid of our 6K, or excuse me, they attack in, we 2K counter out. They're going to go 8 into 6. They can have that. We could have Gum Gum Giant there, to be honest. It was probably the right call, but I wanted to be able to play out this 9 cost, and I wouldn't have been able to do that. So here we go. We're going to swing for 6. I think we're going to start getting pretty aggressive here. I think I should have gone for the board, though, and not let him draw cards. Like, just go 6 into the Shirahoshi. I think that's fine. Okay. So, I'm doing a little bit of math here. Yep, we're going to do Dawn -1 with the 9-cost Luffy, so we can still do Dawn -2 with our 6-cost Luffy. Returning Dawn, getting some back as active. And they're going to use their Vagabond drill there, and now we're going to go 10 into 8. Let's see if he can save it. He cannot. Now the question is, do I want to attack into face? The answer is no. We're actually just going to go into the board here and get rid of that card. So I was a little bit nervous here in case he did have like a Hody Jones or something like that. And it's like, okay, can he win here? But then I started thinking like, wait a minute, I am a 7K leader, right? So there's pretty much no way. Plays out the Vander deck and it gets rid of my, I got to pause and talk about this. He gets rid of my, my 6-cost Luffy. I understand how important that card is, but I guess little does he know I have another one in my hand, right? But I think the right answer was still to get rid of this 9-cost Luffy. It's the bigger, stronger target here. Just get rid of that, and you can slow the game down and go from there. But getting rid of my 6-cost Luffy, yes, it was a safe play, but I think there were better options. Okay, so he's going to go 8 into 7. We're going to give him a 2K. I don't want to go too low on life here. Stands up Jinbe. We get the Zoro. And now in this situation here, I think we should just go for the Hody Jones. I think, like, let's just see if it goes through. 10 into 8. Does he have the 1-cost event or some type of 2-cost event maybe? Nothing else will save it. Lets it go. That's fine. We would have just gotten rid of that card on the next hit, though. Like, if they had saved it with a 1-cost event, we would play out this Luffy, attach 1 Dawn, and swing into it. Okay, so we're going to swing in for 7 here. They did have the event, but that only saves the, that one can only protect the leader, right? Okay, then we play out a Zoro, we fix our hand, we have double Gum Gum Giant, double 2k counter, 2 life. I'm feeling pretty safe in this situation as a 7,000 power leader. Okay, swings in for 8, that's a 2k. No way he can win now. It's not possible. There's just not enough attacks on the board. So he's going to swing in for 8. We're actually just going to get out of that as well. Actually, we take this one, and then we'll get out of this one with the 2k. We probably could have used Gum Gum Giant there just to cycle, but oh well. I don't think they're going to have a way to get out of this here. We're going to swing for 9. There is no 1-cost card for green right now that could have saved that. We're going to go in for 9 more. Can he save this one? Because then we can swing in for the rest. Nope, he messed up or something. I'm not sure what happened there, but it didn't matter. He couldn't get out of that one. He wouldn't have been able to get out of he would not have been able to get out of the 11, followed by the 12 or whatever that would have been. It'd been like swing 11, swing 12. Good game to my opponent. That was a fun one there. Okay, and then last but not least, guys, we got one more game here. This one's going to be against Purple Luffy. Volume is off. Speed is on 2x, and here we go. Okay, here we go, man. Purple Luffy versus Purple Luffy. Pretty much literally, right? Because even though I'm Purple Black Luffy, I'm literally just Purple Luffy. We're going to play out. So this is a perfect curve here going turn 1 Trafalgar Law into turn 2 Zoro. We found another part of the curve there. Now we're going to be able to go turn 3 into Luffy and go from there. They're going to swing for 6. We're going to take this. I think I could have 2k countered out. It wouldn't have been that bad. We're going to swing for 5 into their face. They give us a 1k counter. We play out the Beer Luffy or Cheers Luffy, whatever people want to call it. We're going to swing for, I would just swing for 8 here. Yep, we're going to swing for 8. And here we go. One thing I noticed about this matchup is whoever goes first has is very, very favored. Okay, they're going to go 5 into 5 here. Honestly, I think I should save it. I'm really considering saving it. We end up letting it go. I think we probably should have saved it, to be honest. But that's okay. We're not done with our curve here. We're just going to keep going out with these cards. And, yeah, going to play out the 5-cost Sanji there. Swing 7. We're going to get 3 Dawn back from that. So we went Dawn -2 to go Dawn +3. Seems good. We have 5 Dawn left to work with for the turn here. We're going to swing for 7. So we swing 7. We swing 7. They give us a 0-cost 3k. I was hoping for a Gum Gum Giant, but we did not get one. But I also don't think we can possibly lose this turn. I don't think there's any way we can lose this turn. Okay? They're going to swing for 6 and a 7 just to draw a card. We're just going to ignore it. They swing 8 and a 7. We 2k counter out. They don't want to use anything more this turn. They want to sit on a Gum Gum Giant and go from there. Okay, but we're just going to go ahead and slam down this card. Dawn -1, setting down the Onami. And now we're going to start swinging. Okay, I think I did Dawn -2 there. I should have just done a Dawn -1 if that is the case. And guys, we're just smashing in. We're saying like, hey, you're going to have to use Gum Gum Giant here. I'm going to swing for 7, and then I'm going to go 9 and then swing 11. That's right, guys. We're going to swing 9 and then swing 11. And if we couldn't win there, we were a 7,000 power leader for the crackback. We had 3 life. We had 2, 4. We have 4k counter in hand, which is not great, but we did have a 1k and a 2k in life. So, again, let's see if he could have gotten out of that. So, let's go back real quick and see where the last attack was here. Okay, let's hit play. So, right here, we're going to swing for 7. He takes this one, and now watch this. We're going to swing for 7, and he just leaves. Okay, pause. Can he get out of this? Let's say he does 0-cost 3k for this one, right? So, he does a 0-cost 3k to get out of that one. Then we come in for 9 more. So, like I said, it was going to be swing 9 to finish there. Or, actually, it probably would have been... No, I think swing 9 and swing 9 I think would be better. So, we use the Sanji here to swing for 9. And that's going to take a Gum Gum Giant, trashing... well, you might as well trash the other Gum Gum Giant, right? Because you only have 1 Dawn. So, trash Gum Gum Giant. That takes him to 9. And then, look at this guy. His top card is a Katakuri. I don't know what his next card is, but it would have to be a 2k counter in order to get out of this. And then watch what happens next is like, okay, so so if he did Gum Gum Giant, trashing the other Gum Gum Giant, and we've already used the 8 cost and the 0 cost to get out of that last attack there with the Zoro or the Sanjin Pudding. So he would have to give us that, the Gum Gum Giant, trashing the other one, and the 1k counter Bentham, and then he would have a 2k in hand. He would have to have some type of non-brick as his last card just to survive. And then he could go from there. So that's pretty much That's his only chance. Who knows what he would have gotten from that? But if he would have lived, I don't know if he could even win on the crackback, right? Because using Gum Gum Giant, that would drop him from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 down to 5. So he'll go to 7 for the turn, and he only has 7 Dawn now to try to get through 3 life, a 7,000 power leader, and 2 2Ks in the bank, right? So he'd only have the 5 attacks, and I can get out of 2 of them, pretty much guaranteed. So I think that's how it would have gone. Who knows? Maybe not. It would have been a pretty close one either way. But good game to my opponent. Good stuff there. If y'all saw something wrong with the math, y'all say something in the comments section below. I was trying to do that real quickly. Okay. All right. Well, that's the deck list, guys. That's it for today's video for the deck list. I'm going to move the leader out of the way. Plenty of revisions can happen here. Like I said, I don't know how important this card was to what I was doing, and I could see where this would be the card we were talking about. Let me just bring up Pudding real quick for purple. I could definitely see just replacing this Sanji and Pudding with this 3-cost Pudding, right? It's like a downgrade. You're going from Sanji and Pudding down to Pudding. It's like, yeah, but it has a purpose, right? Number one, it'll be 1 less brick in the deck. Because I did notice in those games, we were just getting bricked up quite a bit with our hand. So let's see what all we have. I'm not going to count Gum Gum Giant as a brick, because that card is a 1-cost 4K. I'm not ever going to print, like, counter events, or I'm not ever going to put, like, counter events as bricks, even though you might not have Dawn to use them. I still don't want to count them as that. So none of these top cards are bricks, except the Zoro, the 2 Zoros in this Sanji and Pudding. And then down here, yeah, we do have quite a few. So let's count it real quick. So we've got 4, 8, 12... let's do 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. Yeah, so it's got 23 bricks. So just going like -4 of these off the top and going +4 puddings drops us into just 19 bricks and drops the cost of the price by quite a bit. This is not a searchable card in the deck, but that's okay. And then what else could we do here? Like I was saying, if you can't afford this this Monkey D. Luffy, you can go -1 of these to go +1 Sanji. And now that also gives us more counter power, and we can go from there. So there's some options there as well. But yeah, that's about it, guys. One card that never came up even one time, I think, in today's, in all my testing that I did for today's video, was this Frankie. It's still a very good card, and it was in every game, but we just never saw it. There was never an opportunity where I was able to just plop it down and play it. So that happens. I needed to put more testing in to see more of that. But yeah, that's about it, guys. Tell me what y'all think in the comment section below. What are you guys running in your purple-black Luffy decks? I would like to fit in the 8-cost, what's his name? The 8-cost Katakuri, but it was kind of hard to fit that, to make room for that in this deck. Yeah, that's it, guys. That's all I got for you. One more card I do want to mention is the 10-cost Luffy. The 10-cost Luffy I think could be really good in here. Maybe as like a 1-of over this 9-cost. But guys, I'm going to be honest. Once you start plopping down those 9-cost characters that are like 9Ks and 10Ks, that's the beginning of the end right there. Once you start getting down those 9-cost characters that are huge, even like 9-cost Linlin, once you start plopping those down, like I said, that's the beginning of the end right there for your opponent. They're going to be in a bad spot. It just gets out of control quickly. All right, I'm done. Y'all tell me what y'all think in the comment section below. If you guys have any comments, questions, or suggestions, please don't hesitate to put those down there. Let me get the outro screen on here real quick. Okay, guys, if you are liking, subscribing, sharing, commenting, viewing my stuff, or if you're using my TCG Player affiliate link, if you're donating through Patreon or PayPal, if you're a Playmat supporter, YouTube member, part of the Discord community, whatever you're doing to help me out and to help out the community, thank you guys so much. I really appreciate it. You guys are awesome. All right, I'm done. Hope y'all enjoyed. Until next time, guys. Peace.